who's actually going to get the most out of a 11,000 watt tri-fuel inverter generator? If you're trying to decide whether this DuroMax model is the right fit for your family's power outage plan, your RV adventures, or a job site that needs a reliable, quiet backup, that's the question we'll answer. If you're just looking for a cheap lawnmower-size unit to run a single TV, you might be better off elsewhere. And, of course, you'll want to know if the price makes sense for a regular homeowner who only pulls the plug once a year. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the kind of situation that pushes most people to consider a generator this size. Imagine a summer thunderstorm that knocks out the grid for an entire neighborhood. Lights go dark, the fridge stops humming, the Wi-Fi router dies, and you're left wondering how long you'll be without power. A generator that can handle 9,000 running watts can keep your refrigerator, a few lights, a home office setup, and even a central air unit running simultaneously. That's the sweet spot for a whole home backup, enough juice to avoid the choose any appliance dilemma that smaller units force you into. Now, compare that to a weekend RV trip where you want the comforts of home air conditioning, a microwave, and a few devices charging at the same time. The same generator can be plugged into an RV's 30-amp inlet and give you the same clean, low THD power that protects sensitive electronics. Because it runs on gas, propane, or natural gas, you can match the fuel you have on hand. If you're camping at a site with propane hookups, you can leave the gasoline tank untouched. If you have a natural gas line at your cabin, you can hook directly and forget about refueling for weeks. Who should definitely consider this machine? First, homeowners in regions with frequent outages. Think the Midwest, the South, or places prone to hurricanes who want a single device that can power most of the house without juggling multiple generators. Second, RV owners who travel between campsites with differing fuel options and need a generator that won't force them to carry several fuel cans. Third, contractors who run power tools for a full day and appreciate the convenience of electric start and remote key fob, especially when they're already lugging a toolbox. Who should walk away? If you're a city dweller in an apartment building with strict noise ordinances and limited storage space, a 65-pound unit that still needs a full-size fuel tank might be more trouble than it's worth. Also, if you only need to power a single device like a laptop or a TV for a few hours, the upfront cost and fuel consumption of an 11-kilowatt machine are overkill. Finally, anyone who expects the generator to be silent enough for a campsite after dark should temper expectations. Inverter technology does cut the noise dramatically compared with conventional generators, but you'll still hear a low hum that some campers find intrusive. Let's talk about the practical strengths that become clear once you start using the DuroMax in the real world. The first thing most owners notice is the flexibility of the tri-fuel system. In my research, I found that people who live in areas with seasonal propane prices appreciate being able to switch to gasoline when propane spikes, or hook directly into a natural gas line at a second home. That flexibility eliminates the need for a separate fuel storage strategy and reduces the risk of running out mid-outage. The second strength is the inverter output with less than 3% total harmonic distortion. That means you can plug in a modern laptop charger or a flat-screen TV without worrying about flicker or overheating, something that cheap generators often struggle with. Third, the CO alert technology automatically shuts the engine down if carbon monoxide levels rise too high, which adds a layer of safety for people who might forget to move the unit far enough from a house or a tent. Every product has its trade-offs, and this generator is no exception. The biggest hidden cost is fuel consumption at full load. When you're pulling close to the 9,000 watt running rating, you'll be burning gasoline at roughly a half gallon per hour, which can add up quickly if you're on a prolonged outage. Propane is cleaner but stores less energy per tank, so you'll need more frequent swaps if you're running the unit all night. The third practical weakness is the weight and footprint. Even with wheels, you're looking at a 70+ pound slab that takes up a sizable spot in a garage or RV storage compartment. For people who need to move the generator around a job site, the remote electric start helps, but you'll still need a solid surface to roll it onto. Finally, While the generator is transfer switch ready, that does require an electrician to install the proper wiring, which adds an extra expense if you don't already have a transfer switch in place. A real-world scenario that highlights both the pros and cons is a winter storm that knocks out power for 3 days. You start the generator.